Hi, everyone. So we are here with Sylvia Mori today. She's going to do an introduction for us for Cards of Truth. If you've never heard of Cards of Truth before, it's a totally different way to read your birth chart and a totally different way to read your cards as well. And Sylvia is going to walk us through some of the introduction parts of it just to get things started. She is a longtime friend and client. And so I'm going to turn it over because I'm not the expert here. She is.
Ciao, Betsy.
Hello.
Let's give it away. I connect from Italy, so my wonderful accent comes with it. Yeah, we've been in contact for a little while, do we?
It's been a couple years.
Yeah, and you want to know the funny thing is that the first time that I've stumbled across one of your videos, I thought two things. First thing that came to mind was, oh, I like the place where she gets the information from. I kind of felt that there was a connection.
For my spirit guides.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could perceive it. I don't know how. And second thought I had, I was like, I have to tell her about the Cards of Truth. And I didn't have any plan to do so. I didn't know how and why. And here we are today, 2 years down the line. And Tom, thank you for having me, first of all.
You're welcome. It's lovely to have you. And I'm fascinated with I've tried to read the Cards of Truth myself. There is so much amazing information to learn from it. You learn so much about yourself, and it's very accurate in predicting things, I've found.
Yes, you know, one of the things that I say in my practice that proves this system right, in my estimation, is that when you go and describe to people their interaction with their parents and their experience as children, I still have to come across somebody that says, no, that wasn't the case. And that's astonishing, because we all remember how we were when we were children and how we felt towards our parents.
Yeah.
Even if we were in love with our parents, but they weren't available, for example, that can be seen. And this alone tells me that this system is so accurate.
Yeah. And it's like how accurate astrology is, and then adding the Cards of Truth to it. It's just, it blows my, every time I've had several readings with Sylvia, and every time I have a reading with her, I'm just like I just had a birthday reading for my coming year, my 40th year. And there were some things some predictions that the cards brought to light, and I'm really excited for it. I'm excited for the October.
Yeah, I bet.
Like just a couple more months, just a couple more months. Anyway, so
yeah.
But let's tell everybody a little bit about what the Cards of Truth, where it came from, originated, and all of that stuff.
Okay.
Like, I'm so excited. I'm just fascinated by this. So
it is estimated. It is estimated to be descending from the Egyptians. We know that also astrology has a deep root into the Egyptians, and also the Kabbalistic nature of the angels, which is something else that I practice in a different way than I'm usually see around. Mm-hmm. But let's say these people, Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, they had a thing for analyzing the sky, the human being, the body. They did want to indeed explore who we are and what our experience is. So what they did, presumably on a empiric method, so they were just checking the facts. They decoded the energies for each day throughout the year. And they've come up with a system of 52 type of energies that repeat themselves throughout the year, not in a equal ratio.
Right.
So we get few cards appearing once a year, actually 2 cards, they appear once a year, and others, they go up to 12 times a year max. Okay?
Right. So that's the 52 weeks of the year and the 12 months of the year. If you think about how like there are 52 energies, that's the 52,
yeah.
right? And then the 12.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was just I was trying for my own nature. Sorry.
That's spot on. Yeah, Virgo girl.
My intellect was like ding ding ding. So yeah.
Yeah, we have recurring numbers.
Yes.
And we know that all creation is not just a chance. There is a perfection behind it. Though we experience a level of imperfection in our day-to-day life, we don't appear to be geometrically perfect. We are not in sync. Some of us are, some more, some less. But the perfection is behind the scenes of what we experience. Still, that perfection drives our experience so much that if we manage to tune into it, we can seriously start to drive our lives. Okay, I'm not suggesting that everybody should be perfect with this that I'm saying, but I say that we can steer towards a more aligned, as you know, and you use this word and you know something about this, more aligned to our true nature, which is our authenticity.
Yes.
Did I say that
Authenticity.
correctly?
Yes.
Authenticity. Thanks. And why is it so important to be in our authenticity?
Mm-hmm.
Is because there is the only place where we cannot no longer blame the outer world for what we feel, what we are, and what happens to us. We don't feel the need to do so. Whatever we experience it as something that it was meant to be and had an order, in the larger.
Yeah, and the order in the disorder.
Yes. So when you are at that point, you are the pilot of your machine, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Body, mind, spirit, and everything else, and you call it as you pleased. So what the Egyptians did, and what this system of the cards of truth does, is decoding these energies. And the fantastic thing which we are served with is a system that has a spread for our birthday. So we have like a birth spread you get in astrology, and many of us are familiar with the wheel. You know. Mm-hmm. We get one of those. It doesn't look like a wheel, but it has the same purpose, and then we're going to see later. Then we get a quadration, we call, for the 7 years. So we go from 7 to 7 mm-hmm. years, and we get another spread where we are assigned a new card, a different card, though the birth card never leaves our experience. That's who we are.
Right.
But in those 7 years, we have a project within the project. It's like you call it the Russian dolls.
Yes. Where you
the birth card is the big one.
Keep on getting smaller versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, so we get a big.
So we start with a birth card, and then we have a card for every 7 years quadrant. But then we also have cards, so it breaks down. So we have cards for every year of that 7-year quadrant, and so on.
Yes. And then we have a spread for the week, and then we have a spread for the day.
For the day, yes.
So it's like opening the Russian doll.
Yeah. That's a good way to think about it. I never thought about it that way before, but yeah.
It just came. I just thought of it. It's a good image to explain, because if you if you look at the software that you have also, at first it can be March. You're facing something that the first time that I saw that, and I said to myself, this is for crazy people.
Yeah, I was
and
overwhelmed.
I closed it.
Yeah, I was overwhelmed. I was like, how am I going to learn this? And I still haven't 100% learned all of it.
It takes a little bit. It's the Indians say you eat the elephant bite by bite.
Yeah.
So you have to start somewhere.
Yes.
No?
That's funny. I have elephants on my shirt. You said that? I have elephants on my shirt.
Oh, no way.
And you didn't even know that, because I've been covering it. I didn't realize I was
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, elephants on my shirt.
That's my angel, by the way. He says things when he doesn't know that he's saying.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So what are we going to look at today?
I was thinking first to show you and your wonderful people the calendar.
Yeah.
You need to give me 1 second. I don't know if you want to entertain and tell something about your experience with the cards.
So one of the things that I really love about Sylvia's drive in this is she has developed her own cards too. And this is really like, if you look at the cards, it looks like a regular deck of cards, like something that you would use playing poker or something like that. But it also has the major arcanas in it. And so there's actually a deck that comes along with this. So it's the spread that she's going to show you, but then it also has the deck of cards. And she'll explain more about this. But you have your birth card is assigned to you by your birthday. And it's very accurate. I was shocked at how accurate, because I'm the 9 of hearts, which would equal like the 9 of cups in tarot, if we want to try and do that way.
It's the closest we can get.
The description of the 9 of hearts, and I'll have Sylvia describe it because she does it so beautifully. But the description of the 9 of hearts, I was like, dang, that's so true. Like, it's so true because it talks about, like, I've had to have serious ego deaths in my life. And if I were to explain my life in the way that the 9 of hearts is explained for my birth card, people would look at me and be like, whoa, like, you've been through all of that to get there? And I'm like, this is my destiny. This is what I was supposed to do. So, and anybody with the August 30th birthday is challenged with this card to be this card. So anyways.
Absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't matter what year, anybody born on that day will get that card. And we announced this. The Cards of Truth Day starts with sunrise. It doesn't start at midnight. Okay, for the Cards of Truth Day, today is the 15th of September, has started with the sunrise, wherever you are in the world. At 1 a.m. for the 15th of September, that would be the previous day.
It would be the 14th.
It would be at 10. Today is a 9 of clubs day. So that would, at 1 a.m. it would have been, that's my K2 card, by the way.
It is. It's your K. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Ours.
Just by chance. So keep that in mind when you figure out your card, because now we're going to do this, which is very fun for people to look for their card.
Your K2 card is actually today.
Today is a 9 of clubs, and my K2 card is a 9 of clubs.
Oh, that's so fitting.
And now I'm currently in the day running a King of Hearts, which is my Neptune card.
Okay. And the K2, for those of you who don't know, K2 is what we call North Node in astrology. The South Node in astrology.
Yeah.
So, Rahu is the North Node.
Yeah, you might hear me saying these words because the astrology I refer to comes from the Vedic wisdom, but uses Western tropical calculations. So if you are a Scorpio, you're not going to hear me say that you're a Libra.
Yeah, yeah. and that's the thing is, so we have the Vedic astrology, the sidereal that is not Western. You know how I say sometimes in Vedic astrology, I'm like all Leo energy. Well, not all of it, but there's a lot. And a lot of people who follow Vedic astrology, like for them, Jupiter is in Scorpio right now because they look at astrology differently. I am not an expert on Vedic astrology, so I'm not going to get into it. But yes, so the concept is Vedic, but the calculations are Western. And Western astrology is what we're going to focus on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready to show your screen? I'm like, I'm just going to
Probably, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I am.
Okay.
There it is. Tell me when you see it.
We see it.
Great. This is the 2019 calendar. So you find also the days, but you can discard that. Just focus on the cards, basically. Mm-hmm. Let's go and look for today's card. For example, we said we are recording on the 15th of September. So we go to the 15th September. There we go. It's a 9 of clubs. Okay. And we said your birthday, Betsy, is August the 30th. Yeah. 9 of hearts. It's rather easy. You just need to keep in mind to don't forget that the day starts at sunrise. So you need to know that day, what time the sunrise was rising.
Yeah, if you're interested in finding out your birth card from this, you might want to take a screenshot right now. I just wanted to pop that out real quick.
Yes. Yeah. I also have a video on my channel with this calendar, so it's accessible for anybody, anytime, whenever they want. Yeah, that's how it works. And it's if you at the first glance you see there is I see it like a dance of cards, because it starts with the spades, and then if you look, you can draw lines like this. Mm-hmm. And you see in here it's all diamonds, here it's all clubs, and then we have these smaller portions with spades and hearts, meaning that there are more diamonds and clubs people around than hearts and spades.
Oh, that's interesting.
At the end of the day, we concretize life through thought. That's what the diamonds is, a concrete manifestation of life. It's the earth element, where the clubs, it's the thinking part of life. It's the intuition, is the will, if you want. Mm-hmm. Okay, is the philosophy.
Air element.
Is the air element, and we work with that predominantly, and then on the on the basis of the connection between the spades and the hearts, because the spades is who we are within, is the fire of life that we have inside. Okay, so that would be probably wands
energy.
Yeah, and hearts is the feeling is the, if you want, is a byproduct of life itself. Life happening generates feeling, but life happens as an act of will and manifests as concrete life, as material life, basically, diamonds. That's something that always amused me. I wanted to mention about the 29th of February. In case anybody was born that day, you just add a 9 of clubs in there and you're done.
Okay, so there are 9 of clubs for the 29th of February.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it.
I think we're through with the calendar, and it's pretty straightforward. Have fun searching for your card and see what you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we then introduce the spread?
Yes, I'm excited to see. Is this a spread of you and I for today, or what is this going to show?
Do you want to show yours?
I mean, sure.
If
I already know what my day looks like. Not that spread, but I already know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay, let's do this.
So like last Sunday, you showed up in my spread. Is that the same for?
No, it's different. Today, last Sunday, we had such a great connection.
Oh.
Though I do show up in your spread today.
I told you. I had a feeling.
There we go.
You are.
Guys, this is how it looks. And as said, it can be overwhelming. And if you feel like it's too much, I understand. It's totally understandable. It's a lot. But I can break it down for you in a way that it's more digestible, let's say.
Yes.
This one, top left, is your birth spread. Is the equal of an astrological chart. Instead of having a wheel, you have this funny formation. You have 7 cards over here on top that we usually read from right to left. Then we have the 2 nodes cards, the ecliptic card that I'm going to tell later what it is, and then we have the outer planets cards. So we already see there is a big connection with astrology because we're starting to talk about planets. If we look at this, which is supposed to be the first card, we see the symbol of sun in here. Then we move on to moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. Excellent. How do we figure this out? Basically, this card would be Leo sign in astrology. So if you have any placements in Leo, for example, you, Betsy, have Jupiter and Mercury, we're going to find the placement in the card. So moving on, moon card is nothing other than Cancer, because moon is the ruler of the sign of Cancer. And then we have the Mars card. We find the Mars card corresponding to Aries and Scorpio. So we merge the 2 signs that are assigned to that planet. So we will find in the martial energy the planets that are in the martial signs. And yes, in here is a little different because Western astrology uses the outer planets as lords of the signs, which is not included in this system. So don't be shocked. It's just a little different, nothing more than that. And for example, you have a lot of going on in Mercury sign, right? You have Sun, Venus, Saturn, and Rahu.
Yeah.
Not over the moon.
We're so not surprised by that.
No surprise. No, you're not surprised. We also can see the houses, the little numbers in here that show the cusps that fall into signs. That's how I use the system. So basically, anybody born on the 9 of Hearts day will have the same 13 cards. Okay? Any 9 of Hearts has a 7 of Clubs Sun card. And that in itself has a meaning. Okay. But the placements of planets and houses will determine how that energy is used by that person.
In their
Sorry?
In their lifetime?
In the lifetime, yeah. This spread here is the life promise. Yeah. It encompasses all of your experience in life.
So, and can I ask you, because I get the question a lot, like, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to do in this lifetime? And going through that, your lifetime spread, your destiny spread, would that help you determine, like, lead you to a path of it, of what you're supposed to be doing?
Yes, but I see it like this. I see it working like this. The more you tune into your own energy, your authentic one, and the more this question is not a question anymore, it reveals itself. So it would be of no use if I say to you, you have to be a singer if you are not in tune yet with your soul purpose.
Okay. Because if somebody would have told me, 20 years
when you were 22, I would have come out and say, you should read cards. And you would look at me like, no, I have to have children.
Well, that's not what I would have said, but I would have been like, are you crazy? Like, I work in communications. Like, why would I? Yeah. Anyways. But.
Well, that is a personal thing. I see like having children like a big project in life.
Yes.
Not to diminish anything else.
Yes.
But yeah, it doesn't make sense that I tell you, I reveal you what you already are connected with. But there is trauma, there is blockages, which are not even blockages. We are just far away from home. But if one directs us towards home, no matter how far we are, we perceive it.
Yes.
We start to smell the,
Yeah. Amen.
Smell the coffee. So that's at least that's how I work. Because with this system, you can predict a lot of stuff. But me personally, for my makeup, for my birth spread, it's the most I can give you and I can give people is the part of understanding where we stand and how far we are from where we could be.
Yes.
And then you're going to walk your way. I don't want to become anybody's crutch, basically.
So will you explain, like for example, what the 9 of Hearts would mean for those who have that? And that way, because expanding on this, eventually Sylvia is going to be offering like webinars to explain your birth card and ecliptic card, which we'll get into later, but just kind of to give everybody an idea.
Yeah.
Be.
Your lovely card. It's one of, we have few cards that are called semi-fixed cards, because in the system of quadration, some cards do exchange positions every other quadration that we make. Imagine you just shuffle cards and you lay them down with a pattern of doing so. So there is a counting that needs to be done. I won't get into detail because it's not necessary. But the end result is that for each quadration, certain cards do move only 2 positions. And they switch with another card position, okay? In this case, in the case of the 9 of Hearts, the 9 of Hearts switches position with the 7 of Diamonds.
Yes.
And see how it looks. 7 of Diamonds is the destruction of the sense of value. 9 of Hearts is the having love for anybody on the basis of having realized that I'm the source of love. How do this card realize that has love for anybody because she is the source of love? Through harsh devaluation and being brought to their knees, basically. When you don't find support and nobody around is capable of making you feel you're worth something, that's not easy. That's not something that you would willingly put yourself through. But that's what this card realizes. Mm-hmm. I realize I can love anybody because not just I have it, but I understand there is no difference between anybody of us.
And it's funny because I've always told people, like, just explaining that card, I've always told people that I've never judged any, like, and I don't know where that, I never knew where that came from until I realized that it's my will and my destiny in this lifetime to be this person where I forgive very easily, and I don't forget, but I forgive, and I don't hold on to it in a hateful way. Like, I can look back and learn the lesson from it, and I didn't realize that was the kind of person that I was sort of just like, I don't know why I can't judge people. I don't know why I can look at people and be like, you're the same as me, so I'm going to trust you before you give me a reason not to, kind of thing. A lot of people would call that naive, but I know that I'm not naive because I've been through enough to know that I could get hurt. I trust people even in knowing that I can get hurt in trusting. So yeah.
It's naive if you are not oblivious to the fact that others can do evil or hurt you. Yes. But if you are aware of the possibility, then you're not naive.
Right.
You just have a quality that you do have that maybe others don't experience so frequently, because for you is a reality 24/7. For others, when they do go through a 9 of Hearts experience, through the quadrations, through time, they do feel the same. But for you, it's your blueprint, basically.
Yes.
Okay. And I can introduce now the importance of the ecliptic card.
Yes.
Basically, the ecliptic card is the path that this 9 of Hearts with all the other cards is walking through. So if you have to go from your town to another, you can maybe choose different ways. You can go by train, by car, or you can walk. You can choose this road or the other. And according to the type of trip that you're doing, you're going to have a different experience. So for each birth card is assigned an ecliptic card, and there is a strict connection between the two. Because look what the 9 of Hearts has to do and go through is a 4 of Hearts. And let's break it down, make it easy. That's how I like it, make it easy.
Yes.
9 of Hearts, as you might have grasped, guys, doesn't come easily. Yes, you have love for anybody, but going through being devalued, especially when you are a child, comes with a huge burden. It's difficult, it's a lot, and we can expect the person not to feel emotionally balanced. Mm-hmm. So this 9 of Hearts is going to teach how to be balanced, meaning that the more that you feel emotionally balanced and secure, the more you're going to be a 9 of Hearts. The more you're going to be a 9 of Hearts, the more balanced you feel. Mm-hmm. So this is why I think explaining these two cards alone already give a lot of meaning to the person. It clarifies a lot. There is an inter exchange of a synergy between the two. The more you want to be yourself, the more you need to full embrace, no fuss about what your ecliptic card is, even if it's difficult, ecliptic card. Because Four of Hearts is not too bad of a card, but if you have to learn it, it might be challenging. But if I know that if I feel emotionally secure and I bring myself into that type of awareness, I'm going to be more and more who I am. I might stress less about money, for example,
Yes.
or I stress less about status. Whether for other people, it's very important to have their concrete life on track. That's how they manifest more who they are. For others, they do have to detach from society and go within, like more of an yogic path where you have to meditate and yoga and eat well and stuff like that. Every one of us is have a unique combo of these two cards. So I'm really excited about this because I've seen it working very well. Starting from my own case, which I started to have this intuition that was a huge correlation between these two cards. It made so much sense. And then I started to pay attention to the client's cases, and it never failed. So I see it being something that people can grasp easily.
Yeah.
They can put into practice.
Yeah.
Easily. Because never forget, it's the project of life on you. So once you tune into that, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
You won't need me to say you did well. You will know it. And that's the most important thing. I want to empower people. I think
yeah.
I made it clear that
actually, what I love about this is, and I think the reason why I've always been so connected with the cards of truth, since you introduced it to me, I've just been fascinated. I mean, like, I even got the software, and even if I wasn't like planning on teaching it or anything, I wanted to learn it myself. And the reason why is because it really, in a way that astrology does, which is something else that I'm very passionate about learning, and because I'm not just a tarot reader, I'm an all-encompassing healer. This was so fascinating to me because just with the birth card and the ecliptic card, you can find a truth that you've may be searching for. Like, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. Well, let's look at your birth card and your ecliptic card.
And in times of confusion, for example.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off.
That's okay. No, go ahead.
I was saying in times of confusion.
Yes.
Maybe if I present you with the full reading, it would be too much.
Yes.
If we start from the birth card and the ecliptic card, and then if something is very peculiar, then I might mention it. For example, your 9 of Hearts is connected to the cards Fool, the major arcana.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned this before.
Yes.
What the Fool does, it's fantastic. You have to love it.
So basically, my card is the Fool.
Basically, your card is the Fool, and
But I love
just.
That's like one of my favorite cards. So go ahead.
Not just, because you also have the 9 of Diamonds, which is also the Fool, and you have planets in it. You have Neptune, Moon, and Ketu.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense for my life.
And what the Fool does in the system, let's say in the interpretation that I use, the Fool is like, it goes like this. It says something apparently not relevant. Maybe it's a comment, maybe it's something that just comes out of the mouth, and it just predicts something. It has read reality without knowing. Okay, this is not something that I would skip. I would say to people, maybe people find it difficult to understand you. You feel criticized. Also because sometimes they can seem to not follow your thread of thought because you don't have one really. You're just in tune.
Things, yeah.
If one is very much in the now, but materialistically speaking, it's difficult to tune into that frequency. So they see you as imperfect, basically. because you just said something that didn't make sense.
Right.
And maybe down the line in 3 years, 2 years, 6 months, whatever, whenever, that thing happened. The thing came true.
And then they're like, oh, dang.
Exactly. If they're honest, yeah. If they're honest, they give you the prediction. Yeah. Otherwise, they own it. Usually it happens.
That happens to me all the time. I'm like, didn't I always feel like I want to tell people, I told you so. I told you. That's the fool, right? That's the fool energy. I told you so.
Yes, that's the full energy. And let's give it to as a giveaway. It's fine. It usually works like this. Let's say you were talking to me today and you love this type of earrings, for example, and you have a connection going that is giving you a prediction on something, then, which is, let's say, good for me. Mm-hmm. You might go and say, oh, look, you have such a beautiful earrings. It's going to be a fantastic Christmas for you. If I listen to you, like with the logic mind, I go like, are you okay? No, stop. I have a mom 9 of diamonds, so I'm very much expert of this.
Yeah.
But that is a prediction. It just came through something that you loved. Mm-hmm. It can come from something you don't love. You don't like stripes. You might go, oh, with that top, whatever you do today is not going to be good for you. Mm-hmm. The prediction part is the second half. You just used something that you don't like as a personal taste.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is more, let's give it, it's more 9 of diamonds be like. They're very much into the physical things, but you do have a 9 of diamonds pretty strong there. So
fantastic.
It's also you. That's how it works. So if you have,
I do like my pretty things, but I am very minimal in liking in that. But yes, that's very true of me.
That was just an example. You can use merely anything in life.
Yeah. My eyes are watering. Sorry, I keep on doing this.
What's up?
My eyes are just watering.
You're getting emotional.
I think a lot of it's the laughing, like the smiling and the laughing, which is funny to say, I know. So with the birth and the ecliptic cards, we can determine the kind of like how you get to the birth card, or like the path that you take, or how you're led in there.
Basically, it's where you already are.
Yes.
But more likely than not, you are fighting where you are. Okay. And where you're supposed to be. Okay. This is meant to say to you, you can stop fighting against who you are, and it's fine. You can redirect your energies towards where you already are, because we are never in the wrong place. Never. Yeah. We just fight not to be there.
So in saying that, and just for the sake of time, because I want you to be able to get all the information in, but I also know that you take a lot of energy doing this, which I really appreciate. So for the sake of time, and I don't mind offering up my information for this at all, just to let you know that it's fine. You can be open in everything, but we kind of already did a birthday reading together. But would you want to sort of summarize what this age 40 quadration is, and like just to kind of give everybody an idea of
let's
move feeling about like what my year is going to look like. Okay,
I would look into first the card for the 40th year, which I find in the 7-year progression, which is a Venusian card. It's Venus card over here. It's an 8 of hearts. Already the 8 of hearts gives me a mood. And the planets in the card already also give me the mood, together with the cusps. Okay, so we know we're going to talk about a lot of relationships because it's Venus card. Also, on top of that, you have the seventh cusp. So it's a double factor, suggesting that that is going to be very important, very present, and very much manifested in your experience this year. 12th house also, so it's the connection to the other realm.
Yes.
12th house factor. So it's your dream state, it's your intuitive side, it's your travels abroad, long distance travels also. And we see Venus being the Venus card. So for us, it's already a good sign. There's good promise for the card to, no matter what happens, to work out just fine. Okay?
Yes.
Doesn't mean that difficulties are not going to show up. They might. But the outcome is positive. Then we have the sun. So we know that life purpose is in there. Okay, the sun is the soul in Vedic. It's the core essence of who we are. Mercury is also there. So it's a manifesting factor. Communication, as we know. And when it's with Venus, these two guys love to be together.
I know. I think that's why I'm so excited that they're conjunct right now. Like, it's such a freeing feeling. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. We also see there is Pluto there. And you were born with Pluto in Venus card, so you're already used to that. And Pluto, what manifests, and it manifests itself is with the challenge to the ego.
Don't I know?
So there is some ego work that is going to happen. And it comes as the Three of Hearts, which in this system we read as living something that I love for something that I love more. So I'm single. I'm fine being single. I leave that status for a relationship. That is a Three of Hearts, for example. Or I've always done something in a way that I loved it, but now I move on to a different way of doing things. Okay. In a conversation with the clients, that then we dig into it and we find what the details are. But now we go just general reading. Okay, so giving the tone to the year, we move on to the spread, and we see that for each card, Sun, Moon, and till Saturn, we get dates over here. And forgive me, guys, is in the European style, so this one is 30th of August date.
Which was my birthday, which is the first day of my 40th year.
Exactly, because your year with the Cards of Truth system starts with your day of birth.
Yes.
And we see
I know what that Three of Hearts was on my birthday, by the way.
Okay, then I want to know. Because we were wondering.
You know, it's related is so on my birthday, all of my boys decided that they wanted to put together my birthday for me, and I loved it. So, like, the thing that I loved about it was that they chose, like, my two older boys chose all of their favorite things to do on my birthday, and that was our celebration. So instead of me getting what I truly love to do, I gave that up to do what I love more, which is those two. That was the Three of Hearts for me. You know how we were talking about one thing for another, and that was my day. And it was perfect because I just loved spending time with them. I didn't care what we did, but they picked, it was so cute. They picked all their things that they wanted.
Mom, football for your birthday.
It was wonderful. It was good. So I know how that started. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, it's also in the predictive system can also be seen as gathering, coming together and partying and having fun together.
Yes.
So just for mentioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ecliptic card is a great card. It's an 8 of diamonds. It gives so much power in making happen something in the concrete life that can bring wealth also, and finding yourself in the right place at the right time. When you have a new project, for example, you find that when you have clear what you want to do, then you might be approached by somebody that can do something for you, and they start doing it, and then somebody else follows. And you know, when that how do you say, virtuous cycle happens, when everything lines up.
Yes, a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the card, and it shows up from the 21st of October.
That's what I'm talking about, that I'm so excited about October coming. Like,
yeah, it must be, because it's Rahu there. So it's going to be manifesting connections, studying, and I leave it up to you. I just go like very light for our friends.
Yes.
And then I don't know if you want to go through each card, but I would just leave it there. And
no, just to kind of give everybody
an idea. We can go through each card, but then it gets personal, you know, guys. And
Sylvia is as open as I am. We all know how very open I am with my life. Sylvia is much more private person. So I completely understand that, and I respect it as well. I don't want her to do anything that would make her feel uncomfortable. But if there's one last thing that we could talk about with this, what do you feel like, just sort of as an introduction and showing everybody, you know, why this is a good system, and to learn more about themselves.
I think we already mentioned, probably, I'm going to say probably something that it's already been discussed a little bit. It really shows in a real clear way where you don't need to waste energy.
Yeah.
Because also, if we didn't mention the outer planets and what they reveal, but I just give you two. One is your authentic self, which is Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Pluto card tells you where you throw all the ego projection. For example, for you, it is an 8 of Hearts.
I know, man.
It is an 8 of Hearts. Doesn't mean that you are not that card and it's not a quality of yours.
Yeah.
It is a quality of yours that you use to reassure yourself that you are okay.
Which is so funny because it's just right before my card. So it's like,
yeah, it couldn't be any more accurate, couldn't it?
It's like the little train that could. I think I can. And then boom, I'm there, right?
So I was born 9 of Hearts up here. No, let's go back to the 8.
I know. And that's what I love about the Pluto card being the 8 of Hearts for me, because that's always been my constant struggle. Like, I get to that point to where I'm like, yes, I am all powerful. I'm doing this. I can love. I can all of it. And then boom, something happens to bring me back down.
Inside of me. Yes. Don't get me wrong. In my interpretation, is a beautiful card. You said, of course, you like 8 because I'm a Scorpio. Okay. 8 cards, they do literally throw you into the experience of connecting with the realization of you being the author of your life.
Yes.
Okay. The ego has been bashed enough, doesn't have much energy anymore, so you start rising up from the ego bondages. And basically, if you want to have like a concrete life, and 8 is very difficult, but if you are a pioneer of your own life purpose and you want to just move forward in advancing yourself, that's where the good work starts. Mm-hmm. Because that's where you realize yourself. But for you are already realized, and you are above realizing yourself, you are spreading yourself.
Yeah, but it took a lot for me to get there, and that
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what a 9 of Hearts, like, yes, maybe now I'm actualized, I'm realized, and I have enough to spread, but man, and I do get knocked down to that 8 of Hearts, not knocked down. I know that that's like a negative.
No, I understand.
But I do that Pluto 8 of Hearts can be a big realization for me sometimes.
Yeah, because it feels so real. That's the trick. It feels like, God, that's who I am. I know I am that.
Yeah.
Feels so comfortable while being uncomfortable.
Yes.
So this is, you see, just this little direction. If you have children, for example, if you were a child and people that were bringing you up were aware of your talents, in this case, of you being connected to somewhere else and having this much love. If you are a parent that has the fortune and the chance of being aware of their children, and you're sensitive towards their situation and your role that you play with them, then knowing these little subtle things that make a huge difference long run, in long along the
Yes.
along the way,
Through their life. Yeah.
You are intuitive, thank God.
Yeah.
Then great tool for children also, so that we can avoid expecting from them what is not about them.
Yes.
Also another use of this system. I don't know if this answers a little bit your question.
It does. It does. So I think if we kind of end it there, we can do another one of these sometime, because it's just so fascinating. And if you guys, you want to pop down that screen, Sylvia? So it's showing you and I. Oh, it's showing you here. Okay.
There we go.
So yeah. So if you want to have more information on the cards of truth, Sylvia does have a YouTube channel where she explains so much of this in depth, and she goes through each card and major arcanas, and she does it with another friend of hers. So I will have the link to her channel in the description box below. Actually, I think I'll put it in the comment section. No, I'll put it in the description box. Maybe I'll do both. We'll see. But just some people can't find the description box, so I want them to be able to have everybody to have access to it. So, yeah, and I want to do this again. Let's do it. Let's do it again, and kind of get a little bit deeper into some things. And I know that Sylvia is also. Do you have an offer now, or are we going to do that in the future?
I'm working on some workshops.
Okay.
Yeah. So that we can get together, like, let's say, I don't know, people from the same cards.
Yeah.
We start with 4 cards. And because I thought of this because the best way to get to know a card is to see it manifested in somebody. For example, now when you think about a 9 of hearts, if you know somebody that you find out to be a 9 of hearts, and you look at Betsy, and you can see traits of her in them. Obviously, they're not going to be the same person because the placements of the planets are different, and the ascendant and the houses are completely different, so we get different people. But you're going to see a theme. So if we get together and we interact, it's a fantastic way to see yourself in others. So, for example, there are 3 people, I don't know, Jack of Hearts or Queen of something, and they can see themselves in each other. Mm-hmm. And they can show what their energy are to others. I think it's the most fascinating thing. And in my view, I'm going obviously to give an introduction first of the cards and their ecliptic. Okay, so we don't take into account the placements, but just the broader energies. Yeah. Okay. And as a workshop, like 1 hour and a half, that's what I thought. Okay. 15 seats or something, so we not spread it too thin. Yeah. But we managed to talk.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, if you follow my channel or my Facebook page, I'm going to update everything there, and it's going to be soonish, I think. So,
and we'll and I'll make sure to keep everybody updated as well as everything comes together. And again, if you want to find out more about the Cards of Truth, and go check out Sylvia's channel. And thank you for taking your time today. In Italy, it's nighttime in Italy for Sylvia. So
it's 7:15 p.m.
Yeah, and it's 12:15 p.m. here. So she's doing this in the evening when I would be like out.
Scorpio. I'm under my rock.
Yeah. And I did want to make an announcement really quick, just because I am doing a meditation and Reiki healing live tonight. For those of you that are wanting to attend, you can find that on my website. And if you have already registered for it, and I just want to make this note because I want to make sure everybody can get the link to it. If you have not received the link, please email me, Betsy@fearlessintuition.net. I haven't had anybody say that they haven't received the link yet, but I just want to make sure. So thank you again, Sylvia. I know this is...
Thank you, Betsy, for this chance and opportunity and the welcome that you give me. It's amazing. I'm really thankful.
I'm so glad to do it. And we will talk to everybody soon. Bye.